Hi, my name is Joel, and this is my personal philosophy presentation for the leadership class. Back at the start of the semester, when I saw I had a leadership class, I wasn't too sure what to expect from it, and I wasn't very excited for it because I thought I'd already had a pretty good understanding of who a leader was and what type of leader I wanted to be. But after going through this class, it's definitely challenged me in both those beliefs and has started develop me into the leader that I want to become. Uh, Throughout this presentation, I'm just going to be going through a couple of the modules that challenged me personally and stuck out to me throughout the course. And I'll be starting with Module 2, which is about applying ethics. Before this, I guess I really hadn't thought a whole lot about ethics because you know that naturally there, as you grow up, there, you know, whether what you believe, what your parents believe, you have a natural kind of already set of ethics, and this module helped define those and the importance of them to me. There's a couple different approaches, and the approach I relate to most was fairness and justice approach. So that helped clarify a little bit for me because ever since I was a little kid, you know, even playing board games with my family, I had to have things, you know, fair and just. You know, all the rules followed throughout that, and that's kind of been my approach since day one. But putting them into more so practice when we had to do a list of kidney transplant patients. Um, that forced me to actually think about, you know, why I was choosing somebody put on the list or why I wasn't choosing somebody, and that challenged me in um, really understanding my own set of ethics and why I have them and how they became to be my ethics. Because I believe if you have that clear understanding of your ethics, that's going to really help in, you know, clarity and decision making. So that was the challenge for me, was just understanding my ethics, why I have them, and being comfortable with them for the decision making process. Now it moves us into module 3, which was decision making. And so module 2 and 3 tie in very closely together because, you know, having a clear understanding of your ethics is going to help your decision making process. There's a few different approaches to decision making. There was advocacy and inquiry. And the inquiry approach is definitely more the style that I use, you know, collaborating with a group of people to problem solve, hearing what everyone has to say, um, just trying to understand how to make a decision that kind of benefits everybody in the group. Uh, but for me, I guess the challenge out of this module was to still be able to listen to everybody, you know, in the group and hear what everyone has to say, but to not allow, you know, too much peer pressure to affect your decision negatively. Because there's always going to be people that, you know, aren't going to agree with my decisions. But if I try to please everyone, you know, I'm going to be letting down, you know, my own decision that I wanted to make in the first place. So trying to balance out, because I don't make decisions, you know, to please people, but I do allow people to influence me a decent amount. So being able to balance out, you know, still listening to everybody and trying to understand what works best for everybody, but not allowing that to be a negative impact on my decision and still sticking with the decision that I need to make was the challenge for me out of this module. Moving on to module 4 was becoming a servant leader. This is, I think, probably one of the most important things about being a leader is being a servant leader, because you know, anyone can say whatever they want to say, but actually living out what they're saying is a whole nother story. And that's where a lot of respect comes in, you know, and that's the challenge, is to actually be able to live what you say. And when we had to pick somebody that was a servant leader in our lives, that really, you know, helped me think about the qualities that I wanted to improve on to become that servant leader. And so that was a great experience for me, just focusing on that and challenging me to become better in that area. Because as a leader, we're not being a leader just to benefit ourselves, you know, whether it's money or whatever. That's not the reason of being a leader. We're in a position of leadership to benefit others and the community around us. So again, that was just more of a challenge, just to focus on ways that, as a leader, how can I benefit the community around me? And that was what stuck out to me in Module 4. Moving on to Module 5, it was about empowering others. And I guess this was kind of more so an area of a little bit of weakness for me, because growing up playing sports, playing hockey, at the end of the game, I could have made 10 things right, but I'd be focusing on the one thing I did wrong in the game. And so for me, negative thinking like that was kind of what I used to make myself better for the next game or whatever. And that's been my thought process for a while. So trying to break out of that, obviously with other people, that's not how I approach it, but it is more difficult for me to empower others properly, because for myself I used a little bit too much of a negative process. So the challenge was to actually figure out how I can empower others the correct way to allow them to achieve their goals, to encourage them the correct way, because everyone needs a different set of encouragement or empowerment in order to get where they want to go. And so that was just the challenge, was to not allow my negative kind of thought process for myself throughout the years to impact how I react with other people. So it's a little bit of a challenge to just be able to empower people the correct way. My final module I'm gonna talk on is Module 9, and that was about dealing with conflict. Conflict, comes up with every day, every decision you make. Well, not every, but most of them, and it ties into Module 2 and 3 pretty tightly as well. You have to be confident in your decision making in order to, miss as much conflict as you can. But conflict will always be there, and how you deal with it is huge. Whether you try to run from it, or maybe you're a little bit too aggressive on how you deal with it. And that's kind of where it comes in with me is, when there's conflict, I want to resolve it, but sometimes I don't take enough time to think about it as much as I should. And so that sometimes causes a little bit more conflict because I rush back into it. So this module helped challenge me to just think about, the conflict first. So when it does happen, just take an extra step back and really think about all the aspects of it before I go back into it, so that I don't create another conflict out of it. So that was the challenge for me out of Module 9. So that's the modules that I'm going to go through for this course, and I really do believe that this course has definitely helped develop me already into a better leader, and will continue to develop me into a better leader, because it's changed the thought patterns and core beliefs about certain things. And I think that's where it all starts, is being confident with who you are, your style. And overall, that was really the challenge for me, is just getting to know myself better, my style of leadership, my core beliefs, and how I can use those to really benefit others around me. And I think by developing that, I can progress into the leader I want to become. And that's a huge part, thanks to this course, and allowing me to think about the things that I wouldn't have before. So that is my personal philosophy presentation.